Hi, this is Jonathan from Clever Tiny Homes as part of our quality build series. And this video is on Rainscreens, what they are and why they matter for tiny homes. So Rainscreens are an extra layer of protection to keep water out of your house. And as you probably know, water is the enemy of buildings. So why does it matter particularly for tiny homes? Well, if you look to the top, tiny homes generally don't have big eaves. When you're building a tiny home and you're making it so that it can be moved or it's built in a factory, you want to optimize the interior space so you don't have these big roofs with eaves that come out the sides or the ends. But eaves are really the first layer of protection for most traditional homes when it comes to water. They're the umbrella that stops most of the water from hitting the wall. So when you have a building without big eaves, you have to be particularly aware and particularly thoughtful about how you protect that wall from water ingress. And this is where Rainscreens, which is a feature we put on all of our Clever Tiny Homes, becomes really important. So what is a Rainscreen? The Rainscreen is effectively an extra gap between the waterproof barrier of the sheathing and your siding. So here we have a hardy panel, it's unpainted right now, siding, and here's our waterproof barrier. And what you can see is we've put these furring strips that create a gap between the siding and the waterproof barrier. Well, why is that gap there? What that gap allows to happen is that if water happens to penetrate the siding, which is your first layer of protection against water, it doesn't pool up. It doesn't get stuck and pool up and kind of seep through that waterproof barrier. Instead, if it penetrates the siding, it's just going to drain straight down and straight out. And so that's really been shown to make this much, much better in terms of being protected against water. So there's two features to the Rainscreen as we install it here. The first are these furring strips, which create the gap between the siding and the waterproof barrier. And the second feature is, as we go down to the bottom, this mesh that we have here. And the mesh has a couple of functions. First of all, on top of it is this very fine mesh that prevents any kind of bugs or insects from coming back and going into this cavity in the wall effectively. And second of all, it holds the siding off from it so that that water can drain down through the mesh and drain out. So whether you buy from Clever Tiny Homes or another tiny home builders, Rainscreens are really something you want to look at to make sure that home is going to last a really long time and you're not going to have problems with water getting into it.